and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities podcast. I'm your host, Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and with me today is the third-eyed mystic herself, the ever-so-lovely Neema.
Hello.
Alright, Neema, how are you doing today?
Oh, tired. But I'm cool.
Now, folks, we were speaking a little bit before the show, and I think she's tired because she slept too much, which I know that sounds very confusing, but I think that's what's happening.
Probably. I agree.
She agrees. So now it brings this into speculation and perspective rather. Does this mean Neema is as lazy as I am?
No. I'm just kidding.
You are not kidding.
We should do like a study, but I don't know how we conduct the information to see who's lazier.
Oh, believe me, I would win that. You gotta remember, I work from home and I don't even have to work that long. I just could write a page a day and I'm done. You're not winning this one.
Okay. Yep. Totally.
You know, ooh, boy, took me 20 minutes to write that out. Boy, that was a tough day. Let me get back in bed.
Jeez.
I know, a lot of people are like, well, what the heck does he do? And I wish I could do that. No, you don't, because it's no guarantee you'll get a paycheck. So, Neema, so was it the start of the month or the end of last month? I can't exactly remember, but you got your first show out there.
Oh, God. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, that was like, I just think it was almost a month ago, right? It was like a while ago, for sure.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like I need to be on my shit more. I feel like I was just catching up with an old friend, and he happened to do way too much acid. So.
All right. Okay. Well, all right. Not to be overly critical, but the volume was somewhat messed up.
Okay.
But I think you already know that because I know you probably looked at it, and we're our own worst critics.
Oh, God, yeah. I was like, what is life? What am I doing?
And, you know, you get that thing where it's like, oh, I don't want to watch this. Just, But, you know, live and learn. But, yeah, that was really, you know,
Exactly.
The volume was a tad off, and, well, it was a show about nothing. But Seinfeld's a show about nothing, and look how successful they were.
Right? And what's the other show that writer does?
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah, I love that show, and it's literally about nonsense.
Yeah, so, you know, you're off to a good start. Believe me, everyone's first show sucks. And, I mean, even though this is an audio podcast, well, you've heard me get on the first show. It's terrible, and I don't want anyone to ever watch it. Ever.
Yeah. I think it's growing pains.
Yeah, so it's like, oh man, you're gonna be the same way. Like, gosh, please don't ever watch this. But yet you're not gonna get rid of it. But you don't want people to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So while doing it, were you nervous or anything, or take us through it?
No, I don't think I was nervous. No, not at all. I mean, I don't know. I've known him for like 13 years now, so it's like talking to, you know, a relative or something. It's not, I don't know, I think we had good energy. We just needed better subject matter.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens, like you said, growing pains.
Yeah.
All right, so, and here's the other thing, your website is really taking off nicely. And
Oh, do you like it the way it's
I love it.
constructed or what?
No, I
Oh,
like
okay.
it. I love it. And you're doing, of course, your dream journals and the crystals and everything. And I think it's freaking awesome. Now,
Yeah, thank you.
here's something though. Like, what would you say to someone who wants to dive into that type of world, who wants to do what you're doing?
In just like having your own website and stuff like
Well,
that.
having your own website, selling crystals, the crystal skulls, those are wicked. The journals. What advice would you give?
Well, I think if people actually want to do something, I mean, they should just do it. Like, whatever you're really passionate about or, you want to do, just start doing it. I mean, I think starting out, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I was just pulling things out of thin air, but, it's paying off in the long run, and it's like baby steps, but it's definitely worth it because I like it.
And
So,
eventually I will
yeah.
get Unexplained Possibilities website up and going.
Hmm.
Eventually, I'm just terrible at this thing. It is so confusing. And
What?
well, I mean, and the worst part is it's a free site because I didn't want to just jump into a paid site and mess everything up and
Yeah.
then get mad.
Uh-huh.
And I have no idea what I'm doing. However, there is someone helping me, Angie G. Well, Angie G. That doesn't sound right. No, Angie K. There we go. And like she's helping me behind the scenes and doing a lot of stuff for Unexplained Possibilities behind the scenes that like I just can't do. For instance, she's the one who did the logos and stuff, and she's
Oh man, the logo's amazing.
yeah, she's the one who
Yes.
did that, not me. So
Yeah.
I can try, but it's gonna look like squiggly little lines that someone who has no
So
arm did.
she does graphic design?
No, now here's the crazy thing. No, she doesn't. This is something that
Oh,
she just decided to do, and she's learning as she goes, and she already did that good of a job.
wow.
Yeah. Can someone say future? Because she has one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I appreciate her so much. Because I can't do this stuff.
Hmm.
I could tell a wicked story though. Yeah. All right, let's jump into this thing here. So, right from the start, this show is going to be a bit different from our normal shows as it's not going to exactly focus on the paranormal, supernatural, or anything like that. As a matter of fact, you could say this is a borderline conspiracy show. And part of the subject matter I wanted to personally bring up because it's something that's happening right now. It's a current event and it's something that we need to discuss in some type of form. We can't just ignore it and pretend it's not happening. We can't just say, oh, well, that's someone else's problem because ultimately a lot of these issues affect everyone. And I just want to try and shine a little bit of light on it. And it's some issues that I feel very strongly about. Saying that, these are my opinions and Niema's opinions, everyone's opinions. And, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. So you don't have to, basically what I'm saying is if you guys get upset and you want to send some hate mail, Niema is more than happy to accept it.
Huh?
Now, with that said, let's get into
Nah,
it.
nah. I'm gonna make an email account, and then that's where you guys can send the hate mail, and it's never getting checked.
It's never getting checked. There is a study that came out not too long ago, and it talks about how spirituality and religion can actually protect mental health. Niema, what do you think about that?
I feel very opinionated.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't like. I think it has some positive points, like some positive standpoint. However, I just don't like the idea of it. And that's like I agree with the meditation aspect, but I feel like children raised in religion, uh, aren't necessarily gonna have a better time. I don't know. It's
Well,
confusing for me.
try
Okay,
to
well,
elaborate.
okay. So, I mean, from personal experience, I think I was like raised Christian Pentecostal for like, I don't know, like middle school and part of high school. And then my little brother right now, he is very religious. But I think being that religious is, in a way, holding you back from a lot
Mm-hmm.
because you're not really facing realities that you should be taught and you should know about in the world. You're kind of you're really naive and gullible, and you're kind of just, I don't know, like, I don't want to be aggressive, but kind of just brainwashed into believing that, if you do anything wrong, you're gonna burn in hell, or you're not going to have a good time in the afterlife. And yeah, these kids might be volunteering. They might be, happier because they believe in something outside of themselves. But I feel like they're kind of doing it for a wrong reason. Um, yeah. Because
Okay.
if you have someone yelling down your throat, you're going to go to hell if you don't do good and treat people as they should be treated. It's coming from a wrong place, I think.
It's coming from fear.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, I can agree
yeah.
with that, and I can understand it because I think the
Mm-hmm.
same way in regards to religion stuff. Religion isn't for me, or rather, established mainstream religion isn't for me. Mostly the Abrahamic beliefs, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. That's whatever. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm more likely to believe in voodoo, which I kind of do, than that stuff. And it's so funny. And this is one of those things where I know I should not say, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's the truth. I actually get annoyed with black Americans who are deeply rooted in Christian beliefs or Catholicism. And the reason for this is because if you go back into history and look at it like that, then, technically our belief would be voodoo, or rather voodoo. And unfortunately, that's a history, that's a belief that was taken away. And currently, it's the mainstream Hollywood wants you to believe that it is evil and devil worship and all that, but it isn't. It honestly isn't. There's one God. There's no real underworld or where you're going to go to burn up, and you deal with ancestors, and they call them ancestors, the law. They're ancestors. They're everyone's ancestors, and they're here to help and guide us. That's what it's about. Of course, I'm putting it in simplistic terms, but that's what it is. And unfortunately, with religions, there are people who are in control and they take advantage. I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
they feel the need of using a higher authority's name, and they feel they need to take advantage while lying about loving this god or gods, whatever your belief is, and you take advantage of people. That's not right. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand where you're coming from, where religion can be a great thing, but it can also hinder you, and
Mm-hmm.
it stops you from freely thinking and expressing yourself and understanding and venturing out, looking at other cultures, other things, learning, growing. It stops that,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And but at the same time too, I also see the benefits, because let's be real, if it weren't for some of the things that religion instills in us, even if it's on a subconscious level, it'll be a lot
Mm-hmm.
more dead people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we all can agree with that. Chat, do you agree with me? If religion, it probably saves lives. So I agree with me. So yeah. Um, but yeah, I do like the fact though that studies are showing that it can help with mental health. And I think it is because you have
Mm-hmm.
something to turn to, something to focus on, something that can relax you. But like you said, if it's not done in moderation, if it is not something that you openly accept and is forced upon you, then it's only going to add more mental anguish, and you lose yourself. You're not going to use
Mm-hmm.
your full line of thoughts. You're not going to use your expression.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I explained that right. I don't know if I did or didn't. I hope I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, any and all hate mail can be directed towards Niema.
Like I don't get enough. Just kidding.
So, well, you're about to get more now.
Yeah, that article was interesting.
It is.
Short.
It honestly is. And once again, I'm going to say that this show is different from what we would normally do, which is paranormal, supernatural. And we're talking about subjects that are happening in the now, that's in this reality, that people just don't want to talk about, or they turn a blind eye to and pretend it doesn't exist, which it does exist. And we're just expressing our opinions. Doesn't mean it's right, wrong. We'd love to hear your opinions, no matter what they are. You can agree, disagree, it's fine. But these are subjects where we just have to talk about. And perhaps, I don't know, maybe it might have cause someone to look into some research and say like, oh, hey, something is off here. So I hope that's the case. All right.
Yeah. Did you? I know this is off subject, but kind of not. Did you hear about the? Well, probably not. It's a crystal set that was banned from Sephora,
I
or
did.
they recalled it. They
I
recalled it. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, I did hear about that. Bonnie was telling me about that actually.
Yeah, they took it down, and I was watching some YouTubers talking about how it's it's going against. It's basically like not a religion, but a belief system that's I don't know. Thought it was cool.
Yeah, so I actually plan to have another show next month, a little special that's
Uh-huh.
talking about banned religious or occult items. So hopefully you'll be a part of that one. I don't know, because, you're a party animal and all.
Oh yeah. Just kidding. Yeah,
Out of
I
curiosity, are
can
you
be.
going to dress up for Halloween?
I don't know. I'm always like late. Like by the time I'm like, okay, I should get an outfit, I never do. I'm
Yeah.
always late to it. So
Okay, that's that
probably I
laziness
would
kicking
love
in.
to, but no. I saw The Shining, and I wanted to dress up like the wife in there
Really?
from The Shining.
Oh.
Yeah, she dresses so weird. It's like I'm just gonna dress like that.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to this is so recent, this is fresh, this makes people mad, but this one's somewhat important to me. Not somewhat. This is important to me. This actually kind of scares me. And I know everyone's heard about this in the States. People outside the States most likely haven't. But in Dallas, there was a police officer who mistook a man's home for her own, and she entered in, and she was able to exit out, but he was not. She killed him. And so far, it's been several different stories as to what happened, and how she mistook his apartment for her apartment, and then there's stories saying that he left the door ajar, but according to residents of the apartment, that's impossible because the door has an automatic closer, and it uses key cards, not keys, so the key card would have flashed red or something. You know how hotels have the key cards?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
my
that.
friend lives in an apartment like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so you get it then.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
somehow she mistook his apartment as hers. Somehow she got in there, and it was allegedly dark, and she saw someone moving. Pa, killed him
How
like
did
that.
this is confusing. But if it wasn't her house and the key wasn't working, they said that he opened the door for her.
Yeah, but then that's the other thing. If he opened the door,
And
then
that he,
why did she immediately open fire? And why didn't she question what
right.
was going on? Why didn't she call for backup or something? I mean, she was off duty, but it's like, come on.
Yeah.
And then there was a
Yeah.
red doormat there as well. So
Oh, wow.
one of the arguments is she worked a 15-hour shift and she was tired. And I'm just like, no, that's not an argument. That, no. And I'll get into the reason why I don't consider that an argument in a bit. And that's really going to make people mad. Hate mail, Niema, remember, guys. So, yeah, the 15-hour thing, that's malarkey. That's not going to cut it. And then what was the other thing? Oh yes, of course. I think, was it her? Did she live under him or above him? Do you recall?
Under.
She lived under, so
Well, no,
she
no, no. He lived under, so she lived the floor above him.
okay, so she didn't
Yeah.
even drive up high enough, like, which makes it even more interesting. All right, and he had a red doormat out there. So some people are speculating, and this is not anything official, but some people are speculating that she might have been high or something. But that's some of the speculation. She
I
might have
doubt
been
it.
high or drunk, but then it gets even more interesting. Apparently, she's complained about that neighbor several times, apparently for
Oh,
loud
wow.
music and stuff like that. So there's a bit of animosity there. Now, after everything was said and done, for some reason, they decided to get a search warrant for this guy's apartment and they found some marijuana. And they didn't search her apartment for some reason. Like, if you're going to do that, do it to the person who did the killing. Search her home
Right.
or,
Yeah.
or give her a drug test or something. But they didn't do that. And this leads me to what's going on with our law enforcement, with these guys who are supposed to protect us. Why are they victim shaming? Not victim shaming, like it goes beyond that. Why are they trying to paint this guy in a bad light? He's dead. Like, let's be honest. If you or I entered the wrong apartment and we killed somebody, I don't think we'd be here speaking right now.
Yeah.
Well, Niema, you might get away with it. You're actually good looking, so I don't think I would be here speaking right now.
Jeez. Could you imagine? Would I even I don't even understand how people are okay with getting away with stuff. Like
Yeah,
if you do something like that, like I'd feel so ashamed. I'd be like, fucking lock me up. Like, my bad, you know?
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. So I
It's
don't,
crazy.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I see your valid points. I think from the article you sent me, it was kind of, it did say that the judge was saying, "Hey, this isn't manslaughter. This is downright murder," and you know, get me the right accusation or
Yeah,
whatever. They
well,
didn't want to see her on manslaughter.
they didn't arrest her until several days later, and they still charged her with manslaughter. They did not charge her with murder, which that's exactly what it is. She murdered a person. And the other scary thing is that if he would have defended his home, which he has every right to do, he would have been arrested for murder. Now, let's go on to this. If this person was not a person of color, would he have would this have happened the way it happened? Would they have gotten a search warrant and checked the premises? Would she have been arrested immediately? What do you think would have happened?
Yeah, you know what? And this is where I have a hard time because I just feel like I have no room to talk. I feel like I have no ground because I don't, you know,
It doesn't matter.
I don't know what it's like.
well, I don't care. State your opinion anyway. Everyone has a thought. Just state it.
And that's exactly my opinion is, you know, I just I just don't think that I have any ground to stand on, so I'm not going to form an opinion based off of, you know, no legwork. I don't know. Like I personally don't know what it's like, and I don't think I could even fathom to put myself into that position or that person's shoes. So it's like, honestly, no comment.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with that.
You don't like that reply?
Well, no, hey, if that's your opinion, that's how you stand. That's how you stand. I
Yeah.
accept it. Don't worry. It doesn't, and I get where you're coming from too. And, what I'm saying too is that's just ridiculous. Like, there should be some form of accountability. And it doesn't seem like there is in that case. And this is actually going to bring me up to an interesting statistic here. Get this now. This is what's scary. This is from 2015. In 2015, 90% of cases that involved officer involved shootings. All right, 90% of them, the officer was never convicted of any crime. No criminal charges were filed, nothing. And in 2015, let's see here. Let me go to my other little link. And you can find this info on The Counted by The Guardian, which it was a great source, but they stopped following people killed by police. It just became too much. So there's another source you can go to if you are curious about this stuff. So in 2015, people killed by police in the United States was 1,146. Let me say that again. 1,146 people were killed by police in 2015 all across the nation. Out of all of those killings, 90% of them were justified and nothing happened with the cops. I mean, does that just not seem a little off? So it's not just me. Like, what do you think? Come on, Nima, give me your opinion. Let's get greasy with
Well,
me.
it's so hard because I just don't follow this stuff. Um, I mean, yeah, I think that's really off, but I just keep thinking like, of course they're not getting the kind of convictions that we'd like them to have because they all, it's all in the same family. Like you guys work together and you're dealing with law. So if you're a police officer and you kill someone in the line of duty, and you've been working there for fucking 5 years, or you're just a youngster, like the people that you work for, or your squad or whatever it is, they have relationships with you. Like they want to protect you in every way. And I think the law and stuff like that is very, kind of protect their own because they're all doing the same job pretty much. I don't know.
And that actually brings me to this point. There is a thin blue line. And it's not right. It should not be there because, again, to protect and serve. And, a lot of people say being a police officer, a Leo, it's a hard job. It's dangerous. It's a war on cops, which is one of the bigger misconceptions that has ever been told when it comes to law enforcement. There is no war on cops. But I'll get to that in a second. Niema, since you don't study this, I know you wouldn't know this, but they're actually on record, federal judges saying that police do not have to protect you. Did you know that?
No, but I don't even understand.
Yeah, they
I
have
don't get it.
no duty to protect you. You're like, what? Wait, what?
Like I'm just quiet. So, their only job is to like enforce the law.
Their only
I'm
job is
confused. You know
to
what I mean?
it. Okay, so basically, what happens is a police officer failed to do his duty and protect a civilian from some harm, and it went to court. It was a giant lawsuit and everything, and Oh, I should have sent you this one. Darn it. I should have actually. Yeah. It's too late now. That was my mistake. That's my own fault. But anyway, it went to court and all that. It became a huge ruckus. And mind you, this happened in 2016. And the Supreme Court found that police have no duty to protect the general public. I mean, the ruling goes back to 2005, but the story actually broke in 2016 because of a type of terrorist attack that happened in Florida, and they issued that the police, they don't have to protect you. It's not their job, apparently. They don't have a constitutional duty to protect a person from harm, even a woman who had obtained a court. I'm reading this from the article right now. The Supreme Court ruled on Monday that police do not have a constitutional duty to protect a person from harm, even a woman who had obtained a court-issued protective order against a violent husband, making an arrest mandatory for violation. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
That is just crazy. Like, that's absolutely nuts. Like, then what's the point? Why are they here? Like,
Right.
yep. Well, I know why they're
Right.
here. You know why they're here. They're revenue generators.
Yeah, they just want to give us tickets.
Yeah, that's it. They're revenue generators. So, I mean, that's just, it's crazy to me.
That's
So,
wild.
since you didn't know that, how do you feel knowing that you could get mugged and there could be a police officer right there and he doesn't have to do anything? How does that make you feel?
I mean, it makes me feel shitty, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like deep down I kind of knew that already. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of knew that.
So you ready for some more numbers?
Sure.
So the argument that there is a war on police, which I disagree with. I don't think there is. I'm fairly certain there isn't. So, all right. I already told you that in 2015, 1,146 people were killed by police. And this is counting people who are armed, unarmed, etc. In 2016, that number dropped a little bit. Uh-oh, someone's not making quota, to 1,093. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at
Yeah.
all. And then in 2017, oh, well, this is probably where this is going. There were only 14 days in 2017 where police did not kill someone. I wish I was making that up. There was only 14 days where police did not kill anyone. Police.
But what is that? So what is that number?
I'm about to tell you. Police killed 1,147 people in 2017.
Okay, so they're right back basically where they started.
Yep. And then, oh, this is beautiful too. Black people were 25% of those killed, despite being 12 to 13% of the population. Does that? I'm telling you, there is something off here. And the question is, why is this happening at that point? Now, to give you
Right.
a little bit more information from first world countries now. In England, there's a population of 53 million, so that is twice the population of Texas. Okay? In England, 2017, guess how many people were killed by police?
5.
That's actually correct.
I'm psychic.
Did you already do the research or did you pull that from your butt?
No, I literally pulled that from my butt. But also, I just know. I think I've done that like years ago, where I've like heard that the crime, not the crime rate, but well, also the crime rate, but the deaths in other countries is like significantly lower than the U.S.
Oh yeah, and remember,
U.S. is just on a murdering spree.
yeah,
it seems
and
like.
we're supposed to be a first world country, so England, first world country, 53 million people. That's the population, twice the size of Texas. Five people were killed by police in 2017. And here's the crazy thing: four of the five were terrorists.
That's
So,
amazing.
oh no, this is okay. So, guess how many people have actually been wounded by police? So, non fatally shot.
What, 2-0? How much?
Three.
3. Oh god, I was so close. Yep.
Three. First
Yep.
world country here. The U.S. is a first world country, but you might be saying, well, it's well, no, you can't even say that. It's 53 million people in England, so let's find a state, or not even a state. I'm gonna do one better. Let's find a city. All right, 2017. Let's find a city that has a lower population than 53 million, and let's see what happens. And I'm doing this data from doing this data that came out wrong. I'm getting this data from it's called Mapping Police Violence. So 2017. Let's see. Oh, how many? Let's go to Reno, shall we? How many people do you think were killed in Reno? I really don't know. I literally just pulled out a number. So let's see. Reno. I mean, not a number. I literally just pulled out a city. So I want to see the population and all that stuff. So we're gonna do this live right now. This is totally new to me. I have not researched this. I really don't know what to expect. So I could be talking from my bum here, and no one actually was killed in Reno. Somehow I don't think that's the case.
Right. I feel like there's at least 10 in there.
All right. So Reno. Holy Christ.
What is
Okay.
it?
Um. There have been 10 people killed in Reno.
Oh, that's right. Right on.
Yeah. And its population is
I don't know
two.
why I'm excited that I'm gonna remember.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Their population is 225,000. Oh, you know what though? I just saw something here. This is unfair. This is data from January 2013 to December 2017, so I'm not going to count this. That's unfair. So it could have actually been one death. So sorry, Reno. I I apologize. So then, you know what? Let's go to my hometown then. Let's go to Los Angeles. Oh, you know this is going to be high, don't you? All right, so Los Angeles. Here it is. Now, I'm confused by this. 2017, there have been. You want to take a guess, Niema?
Um, is it a lot? It's like 25.
It's not 25.
Damn. What is it?
It's 15.
Oh.
In 2017, 15 people have been killed. Mind you, though, this is a city. It has a population of like 8 million versus
Yeah.
an entire country with a population of 53 million or 52, 53 million.
Wow. Yeah.
And this is including not just people who were armed, but unarmed people. This is nuts. This is honestly nuts, and I'm getting saddened by this because I don't understand how or why. I mean, you would think the hardest thing in the world would be to take another person's life, and yet we seem to take people's lives like we're popping candy. What is it that these other countries know that we don't?
I don't think it's. I think they're just more advanced. You know what I mean? There's a lot of. I don't want to say. I just feel like the U.S. isn't as uh, evolved as some other countries. Like most of those other countries are have way better systems. I don't know.
Yeah. And okay, so let's go to Germany. In 2015, two people were killed by cops, and In 2014, before that, a whopping one person was killed by cops. No data or anything about 2016 or 17. It's like, yeah, nothing happened. Uh, Canada,
Right, yeah.
yeah, in Canada, our neighbors to the north, 5 people killed by Canadian police in 2017.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like I've been to Vancouver 3, 4 times, and it's like I can't imagine anyone in that country ever being angry for any reason.
So,
They are
well,
just so nice and chill.
I might have to move there.
You
Oh,
and me both.
okay. So, you ready for this? This is where the war on police narrative really falls, and I linked you information to this one. So, you can actually follow along as well if you want, and this information can be found on what is this called? Officer Down Memorial page. And the 2018, yes, this is for 2018 so far. The 2018 line of duty death report. So, Niema, you already know the answer to this, but how many total officers were killed so far in 2018? Or yeah, in 2018.
Yeah, I didn't. I know it's over 1,000, right?
What? In 2018,
What?
officers?
Oh, 2018?
Yeah,
Oh,
officers.
officer. Oh, oh. Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, you did not do the God darn it, Niema.
I looked at it, I saw all the officers, and then I got really sad because I saw the canines, and it was like nine of those or something, and it made me sad. I was looking at the canine desk. I got distracted.
Uh, well, fine. Okay. So far in 2018, and mind you, this is a 2% increase. There's been a total of 108 police deaths. And now, out of that 108, and remember, it's a war against the cops. All right? So, out of those 108, how many were, do you believe, were killed by some type of violence or something?
Oh no, most of them were like in accidents and uh, stuff like that, right? I don't think that was a lot.
Okay, so 40 have been slain by gunfire. All right, that's number one. They say 40. Out of that, then we going down. 35 auto accidents. They kill themselves by driving like erratic morons. 14 heart attacks. 9/11 related illnesses, 10. At 6 or 7
Yeah.
is vehicular assault, meaning that someone, well, hit them with the car. Coming in at under 5, struck by a vehicle, meaning that they could have been on the side of the road writing a ticket or something. Also, same
Oh
amount, under
God.
5, vehicle pursuit.
Yeah.
Then under 4, assault. Then same thing, under 4, duty related illness. And then at 2, drowned. And at 1, gunfire, accidental, motorcycle crash. That doesn't sound like a war on cops to me.
No, definitely not. I mean, 40 was actual violence.
Yeah. Oh, no, it gets even better. This year, in 2018, this is the least amount of police killings in the United States since, well, I'm going to have to go back in the years because the highest in recent memory was 2011 at about 185. So we're at 108. So let's see. When was the last year with just a low police killing? It was 2009. No, this is lower than 2009. 2002, lower than 2002. Uh-oh, we might have to go to the 1900s. Let's check out the 1990s. Boy, that was a time. Nope. Not not lower than 1990. That was 168. 91, 149. 165 for 93. Oh, this was a 10% increase. 183 in 94. 187 in 95. Then now it drops. 143, 96. 179, 20% increase in 97. 1% decrease, 178 in 98. And in 99, 153, 16% decrease. What this is showing is this has been the safest year for police since, well, I might have to go to the 1800s or the 1980s. Nope, 211 in 1980.
So this is like the lowest ever.
This has been the lowest ever for a long... I'm not going to go through all the dates, but yeah, 2018 has been one of the safest years for police on record. What the heck? And it's a war on cops?
Yeah.
No, it's no war on cops. It's a war on us and your average Joe and Jane.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with all that said, Niema, what's your opinion on all this? Since you don't exactly research it, and you know you're not too keen on the current events.
Jeez, I don't know, man. I mean, it sucks, but what are we gonna do, guys?
And of course, one of the things they say is we need better training, but we actually spoke about this quickly, and maybe that is part of the problem because, I mean, it takes longer to become a plumber than it does to become a police officer.
Yep.
So the guy who works with Pooey pipes, the guy who works with Pooey pipes is trained longer and better than people becoming cops.
Did you just make up that brand?
Pooey pipes? Yeah,
yes,
I don't think that's a real thing.
That's hilarious. That should be an actual plumbing brand. Call them in a jiffy.
Oh my god, Pooey pipes? Jeez.
Yes. That is amazing.
Okay. Sure. Pooey pipes it is. What is wrong with you?
Hey, you're the one who thought of it.
Oh, okay. Pooey pipes. I guess that's who Bob works for. Hello again, Niema. I like your feet. I can feel her spine just tingle from that. It's just like, you don't like Bob very much. For those of you who don't know,
Yeah,
Bob
he's a creep.
Bob is going to be our mascot for Unexplained Possibilities, and he's an extraterrestrial being who somehow is Mexican and he likes feet. I don't know how that came to be.
His name being Bob.
And his name is Bob. That appears to be her biggest gripe, that his name is Bob.
Well, I just don't understand how he's Mexican and his name's Bob.
Well, why not? I mean, what would you prefer his name be?
Name Bob. I don't know, like a Mexican name, like Jesus or Javier or...
I think that's racist.
Whatever.
So, his name
Whatever.
His name is Bob. Okay, but that's enough of the police stuff. And Niema, what topic are we heading on to next? Oh yes, the war on drugs. So that's actually where a lot of problems, in my opinion, come from, and it's thanks to Tricky Dicky, Richard Nixon. He's the one who started the war on drugs. However, I would say Ronald Reagan was the one who truly enforced it. But saying that, you can also say that the CIA is also involved as well, which a lot of people are like, no, they're not. That's a conspiracy. No, it's not a conspiracy. The CIA, when it came to the lower income communities, they brought drugs into those communities, and they were selling it to these people, and it was to keep them out of whack, to keep them from uniting, to keep them in disarray. and it's by design. I mean, why do you think it's just so hard to get ahead? It's so many people at a disadvantage, and it's by design. You're not supposed to get ahead. It
Hmm.
it honestly is a have and a have not, and it's really sad. And then every now and then you get people who are in the middle ground, but chances are, with how society is going and everything, the prices of everything going up, they're gonna slightly be in the have nots. And it's just so ridiculous. But anyway, with this war on drugs narrative, it's just the perfect narrative to get people on stupid stuff. I personally say what you do in your own home is what you do. As long as you're not disturbing other people, and as long as you don't be dumb and go out and drive on the street, do what you want. If you want to get high, get high. If you already know what's going to happen, you know the pros, the cons, and you accept that, then that's on you. Niema, what do you think about this war on drugs and drug use in general?
I mean, I agree with you completely. I think everything should be legal because, I mean, they're basically feeding it to us in medication anyway. I think the real issue is they're just trying to put people in jail who don't pay them taxes on the drugs that they sell. So, you know,
No, now here's the thing too, though. Here's the thing as well. All right, they don't want to legalize drugs because not only do they get extra money, because it's a lot of government involved behind the smuggling in of drugs, but if you get busted with it, free labor. You get free labor. And then it goes to what is a person's life worth? And apparently, 60 years for just snorting some coke or something. That's an exaggeration. I know they don't get 60 years, but they get a heck of a lot of time. So
I know I gotta look this up.
it's crazy to me. And why are drugs illegal? Certain ones. No, why are they illegal? Why are natural things illegal? I mean, yes, okay, California, Washington, Colorado, and I think a couple other places. Yeah, marijuana is finally legal, which is ridiculous to me because it's a plant. It grows naturally. Why was it illegal to begin with? Why is, for example, DMT illegal, even though it's naturally produced by all living things?
Exactly.
Uh, it, it
Exactly.
it makes absolutely no sense. And here's the even crazier thing, all right? So with this war on drugs, and again, I just want to reiterate that this is my opinion and beliefs. Um, you know, if you have your own, share them with us. That's awesome. Let's have this discussion. Let's do it. So, and if you have any hate mail again, just send it to Niema. With with the drugs, I honestly believe that it was designed to. I lost my train of thought. Wow, I lost my train of thought. Niema, save me.
Burp, burp, burp. I think they want you to buy the drugs that they sell and put you in prison for the drugs that they don't sell.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Why is it that when it comes to drugs, why is it that black Americans are thrown in jail more often than not? Like for having marijuana on them. Like it's a disproportion. It's so crazy. Like, and I know a lot of people, they don't like bringing race into stuff, but this is an example I'm using, and race plays a part. Even if you don't want to admit it, if you don't want to think about it, race plays a part. So you can have a white person and a black person with the same amount of marijuana. All right, we'll use the marijuana as an example. Probably can't get away with it with coke. And you're more likely to go to jail if you're black. Why is that?
I think you're more likely to get pulled over or suspected if you're black.
And then if you have it on, yeah,
So,
okay, that's a better way of putting it.
I mean, I know for sure. I think cops definitely do that. You're more susceptible, and then that leads to everyone's got weed nowadays. But if you're the person that's most looked at or pulled over, then then you're the most likely person to get in trouble for it.
And I just don't understand why. I mean, I know why. Again, like we keep saying, it's a revenue
Yeah,
generator
yeah,
because you get pulled over, you're either going to pay the fine or get thrown in jail and get some free labor. And
hmm
again, this goes back to Nixon and then Reagan. I mean, Jimmy Carter, I suppose you could say he tried to decriminalize marijuana. Um, I
hmm
think they lowered it from a felony, maybe. What was it? Hold up, I have the information right here. What did Jimmy Carter do? Mind you, I was not alive for Jimmy Carter, so. But yeah, Nixon started it. Yeah, okay, so Jimmy Carter was able to get the Senate Judiciary Committee to vote to decriminalize up to 1 ounce of marijuana. Whoop de freaking do. 1 ounce of marijuana. And everything else, though, is bad for you. You can't do that. Like, who are they to tell us what we can and cannot put in our bodies?
hmm
Like, seriously. Again, as long as you're not disturbing people, as long as you're not a threat behind the wheel, and you're in your own home, enjoy.
Yeah.
And of course, the argument is that the war on drugs is going to help limit violence and it's going to keep people on the straight and narrow and all that. But it seems to be failing because that's not the case. It's not the case at all. There's still a lot of violence and people aren't stopping. So why not just legalize it? Really, I did not know that. Lydia just said that if you're a convicted child molester, you can get out before before snorting any sort of drugs. So in other words, if you done some drugs, some coke or PCP, whatever, you're still gonna be in the slammer while dude who touched little Timmy, he's out running about. So and again, it's a revenue generator. That's all it is.
hmm
Like the with the what are they called? The child molester. I mean, chances are they're going to do it again because let's be honest, prison does not reform people. It's not for reforming people. It's just
Yeah.
for free legalized slavery. It's modern slavery. And they're like, they'll probably be back. But someone who I'm sorry, I'm getting a little flustered. I'm thinking about this, and it's just ridiculous. I don't even do drugs. That's the crazy thing. Niema, you're the one who does the shrooms. What's happening here?
Yeah.
No,
I don't
like
know,
seriously,
man.
I actually would think you would have a stronger opinion on this than I do because you do experiment with psychedelics and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like everything should be legal and people should be free to do whatever they want. But I feel like, the government wants to control everything and like you said, they want people in prison for not, you know,
Yeah, victimless
I don't know.
crimes.
But yeah. And if you're not buying, the prescription from your doctor and you're getting it from a dealer, then you're in the wrong. So just the way it is.
Yeah, and and that's oh my gosh. Yeah, the prescription drugs, while yes, they have their benefits, they're just so freaking
No,
expensive.
no, it's not even. It's just as beneficial, and that's what really pisses me off is because your psychiatrist can get you addicted to three, four different pills, but psychedelics are illegal that are literally non-addictive. Like you can't OD on shrooms, but you can overdose on all those opiums or opiates.
Yeah, that is very true. And then, apparently we have an opium crisis, which I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
too up to date on that, but you could get them legally.
hmm
So, I mean, I just don't understand it. And is this all a form of control? Like, is this to keep certain people from getting anywhere and just keeping them in their place?
Mhm.
Is this a form of making extra
It's
money?
yeah, it's profit and it's yeah, profit and
And
control completely.
and how is it that these big pharmas, when they are to blame for a lot of stuff, why is it that none of them ever get fined or nothing happens? They just move on all willy nilly.
Because they're profit. Did you hear about that? Do you know what drug I'm talking about that might heal opium addiction that they don't want to legalize?
I think you actually linked it, and I read something about it. I think, unless I'm
Yeah,
thinking about something
maybe.
else.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a new one out that can actually treat opium addiction, and they're not even considering it,
Oh,
which is
huh.
preposterous because, they're still fucking selling it,
Well, let's be honest. If
selling all the
they,
opiums, but they don't want to sell a cure.
well, if you cure it, then that means no money.
Exactly.
And I mean, just like there's probably cures for a lot of, and I use air quotes for this, incurable diseases, but you get rid of the disease and you lose money. I mean, and I hate to bring this
Hmm.
up as an example because I know everyone probably knows someone who has cancer, but they don't want to cure cancer. Like, it's too much money. The treatments are insane for no real reason, and they don't want to cure that mess. And it's
Hmm.
sad because it's like, man, why wouldn't you want to help these people? Oh, because you want the green.
Hmm.
I'm going to be real with y'all right now. Like, I like money. I like money a lot, probably more than I should. But, there comes a time where if you can help someone, especially with something that's like cancer or AIDS or whatever one of those terrible things are, like, you just can't let greed get to you, man. That's just not right from a human decency standpoint. Why? How you can just sit by if you have a cure, so I'm speaking hypothetically. If you have a cure for anything and you're just going to demand to be paid and they can't do it and you're just going to let them die, that's sick. And greed can only I just can't understand it.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of it in this country.
All right, so let's move on from this topic. Actually, we're gonna be close to closing it out. Humanity's an interesting uh, topic, and just we're interesting folks. Humanity, we're we're a lot of things, but where do you see us going?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Sometimes I feel like we're evolving for the better, but um, you know, finishing talking up about this kind of stuff, it kind of makes me think the opposite. So
Yeah, okay, so
difficult.
elaborate for us. Like, what makes you think we're evolving, and then what makes you think we just hit that wall and kind of put it in reverse?
Well, we talk about all this stuff, and it's like really disheartening, and there's just a lot of going on. But at the same time, there's a lot of people talking about it, and we are discussing it, and um, there's progress. Like marijuana is now really legal. And I think a lot of people are evolving on the conscious level.
Yeah, and
So, the more people that evolve consciously, the better our species is going to get.
yeah, and you'll love this because there is a push to legalize shrooms.
Hmm.
So,
And once that
which,
happens, oh,
uh, well,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I'm celebrating party at my place. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, so there is a push for that. It's gonna take a while. For me, I try to see it from all perspectives. Even ones that I don't agree with. It's very difficult, and I look at it like this. people can do some really stupid stuff, some really messed up things. We let greed overcome us all the time. We do things that we think are best, but really it's not. And then on the same time, I I know that we're capable of really great things and we've seen great things happen. And I know that there is a bright future for everyone. It's just we're on such a bumpy path to getting there, and it's just a few that mess it up for many, kind of like with, but it's just a few that mess it up for the many. Because I really think people are genuinely good hearted, even if they say they're not. But I believe people are genuinely good hearted, and I really think when it comes down to it, we will help each other out. It would be very hard, and I and I mean, it's not something that happens overnight. I mean, shoot, look at this country, the U.S. right now. We are so split. Like, it's just a nasty, nasty split. I don't think it's been this bad for an extremely long time. As a matter of fact, I think this is the first in my lifetime where I've ever seen it, this split before. What about you, Niema?
I don't know. Hard to say.
Okay, we'll go with that. And, everyone hates everyone for some reason. Not even hate. Everyone just dislikes everyone for some reason. And the worst part is, it's never a good reason. It's always over something dumb or little. Like, you voted for him. So? That's why you hate me? I mean, you're just expressing your thought. Well, you voted for her. And that's why you hate me? Because I express something? Like, man, everyone's different. That's fine. We should be different. That's what makes us unique. But, man, get over the pettiness, for crying out loud. Just like, oh, he's too dark. I don't like him. Like, really? Because he's dark? You don't like him? Did you even get to know him? Like, I'm not saying date the dude or anything, but at least get to know him as a person first. And if he's a scumbag, yeah. But get to know someone before you pass the judgment. And you know what, Niema, why is it that we as people can't seem to get along or get past skin color or even religion sometimes?
I feel like a lot of people just they're misdirecting inner conflict. It all comes from the self. If you see other people differently from you, then it's stemming from a root problem within yourself. Like, you're gonna hate on other people if you disagree with some attributes of who you are.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I mean, and I feel like people, especially in that mindset, they're on a conscious level where they haven't learned to love themselves or work on themselves. So of course they're going to project that negative energy onto whoever's around them. So
You,
whatever.
you know what? I think we should all be like cats. No, okay, so you laugh, but hear me out, man.
But no. But what about that show where they're all evil? There's some evil cats out there. Oh
Oh,
no.
they're not evil. They just don't take no mess. No, but seriously, we should all be like cats. Cause okay, cats come in different shapes, sizes, colors, right?
Right.
All right, but a cat is a cat. They all know they're cats. Some are bossy.
True.
Yeah, some are bossy. Some hiss or whatever. But they're still cats, and they recognize each other as cats. They could get past over all the other stuff. So we should be like cats. I mean, people come in all different shapes, sizes, colors. Some look good, some look ugly, some have big boobs, some have tiny boobs. I don't discriminate against boob size. So all boobs are created equal.
All right. right.
But no, seriously though, we should just be like cats, man. And it makes sense to me. A couple of people in
Yeah,
chat.
because you know what? Cats mind their own business too. Like if they don't like you, like they'll just go off and do their own thing. Like they're not confrontational, I feel like.
No, I mean, you really have to get on one's nerves, but for the most part, they're not.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're just like, I'm gonna go take a nap. Like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just over it. I'm gonna go take a nap.
yeah, you see, that's our new model now. Be like a cat.
Go take a nap.
Yeah, speak of the devil, my cat just walked in and she literally just passed right on out. I kid you not. She literally walked in, just laid down, and she's falling asleep.
She's like, good idea, guys. Good idea.
So, yeah, I think this is a good spot to end it. Thank you all for checking out Unexplained Possibilities, especially this podcast. It is. It was a different one, I will say. Nima, do you have any? I won't say do a Niamism, but do you have any closing thoughts?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I totally like. I always do that. You ask me every single time, and I just forget
Well, I said I wasn't
every single
asking
time.
you this time, so don't worry.
Yeah. Nope. No ending thoughts. I mean, just check out the websites. Check out the YouTube channels. Da 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 da.
Oh, actually, when is your next podcast?
I don't know. To be continued, but I am doing dream videos on YouTube. So about dream interpretation and dream recall and stuff like that. That goes in line with the new journal that I should be coming out within the next month or so. That I will have for sale on my website. That's professionally done. So yeah,
Okay, so guys,
that's
we're
that.
gonna wrap it up here, but be sure to visit Niama's YouTube page, which is Third Eyed Mystic, and also check out her website, which is also what is it, Third Eyed Mystic, and
Everything is Third Eye Mystic.
everything is Third Eyed Mystic for her. Be sure to check out Unexplained Possibilities Facebook page and Twitter, and our website will be popping up. Um, I'm hoping by mid October, so I really need to light a fire under my bum to get it done. And all those links can and will be found in the description below. Thank you all for checking us out. Really appreciate it. And I hope you all enjoyed the conversation. And in October, we're going back to our normal paranormal talk. So, with that said, remember, guys, there are things that go bump in the night. We did not talk about them today, so just go bang bang. Bye, everybody.